What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. This is going to be less educational and talky, whatnot, I guess. It's more of like a reaction video. I'm going to be reacting and responding to all the comments and trolls and questions that I've gotten across the various social media platforms that I'm on. If you only follow me here on YouTube, then I'm also on Instagram and TikTok. So these questions, comments, and trolls will come from all the different platforms. If you guys like this video, you want to see more of my content, please like, comment, and subscribe for more moving forward. So starting with the first one here, this one actually isn't a troll, but there are quite a few good ones. It's going to be interesting. But the first one was just a genuine question from a young man. I made a post discussing 6 patterns that, empathetic men may not realize are trauma responses, and the young man asked me how to heal it. And so this is a very loaded question. I'll try to keep this short, sweet, and to the point. So in order for us to heal trauma responses or reactionary patterns, we have to get to the wounds underneath of them, the trauma experiences underneath of them, the wounded parts of ourselves that are unconsciously coming to the surface through our reactions. It doesn't mean you can attempt to change your reactions, but until you get to the root of it, it's going to be a challenge still, because you may just react in different ways. To give you an example, it's like trying to lose weight without addressing what you eat. One of the root and fundamental causes of weight gain is, it's a variety of lifestyle factors, but what we eat and our movement. So if you don't address what you eat, you're going to struggle to lose weight. It's the same thing with healing trauma responses, reactionary patterns, or wounds. We have to get to what's underneath of it all, the root of it all. And if you are reacting a lot, then there's a wounded part of you that hasn't been healed, and it is manifesting through your reactions. So that's how I'll respond to that one. Next one. So I made a post and the title was "Sensitive Men Who Don't Learn How to Emotionally Regulate." And the comment was, "All right, you queef." That was a good one. I'm not gonna lie. Thanks, bro. Another one was about empathetic men who are disconnected from their feminine energy. That was the post I made. And this man, I'm assuming it's a man. The picture is just like a sky. And the username, I'm not going to say that because I don't want anybody trolling another person, but this person said, "This is who got Trump elected, LOL," which is actually kind of ironic in a way because I voted for Trump back in 2020. Another post I made was reasons empathetic men struggle to connect, and someone just put a rainbow. It's not funny, but whatever. I made a post called 3 Signs of an Empathetic Man Struggling with Unconscious Guilt. And someone's commented, "Ha, gay?" That one's not as funny. You guys can do better than that. Like the "all right, you queef" one, that was good, but gay? Like, I mean, come on, man. It's 2025. You gotta step it up a little bit. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is a good one because this isn't necessarily a troll, but I'm gonna offer a rebuttal to what somebody said here. Fear, my post was fear of judgment is blocking your ability to step into your purpose and alignment. And somebody commented on the post saying, "You can only control what you can control. The rest, fuck it. Hope you find what you're looking for in life." And first off, I just want to say thank you. I hope you're finding what you're looking for in life too. But the idea of you can only control what you can control and the rest, fuck it, like, yes, that's true. And the idea of we just need to fuck it, like, it implies that we, like, just don't care about it. Like, just whatever, let it go. But how many of you have struggled to just let things go? It's not always as simple as that. We will mentally attach ourselves to things when we don't heal the wounds underneath it. I'm going to come back to the same thing from my first response. We have to heal the wounds underneath it all in order for us to be able to actually let go of things. If not, the mind will attach itself to the wound and the unconscious patterns will come to the surface through reactions, through, you know, through ways we don't want them to, when we don't heal the wounds. And so to just say fuck it is a very easy way for the mind to just put it aside. And what I gather from that type of comment, and I am not saying this person does this because I don't know them, is that it implies let's just push it down and suppress it. Yeah, like fuck what other people think. And at the same time, if you're an empathetic dude, you probably care what people think about you. And honoring both parts of that is important. So it's oversimplistic to just say fuck it, but I understand where the person's coming from. Okay, here's a good one. Empathetic men, easily triggered and reactive. That was the name of the title of the post I made. And the person said, I can't believe you're an adult making this content. And I find that so fucking funny. I think there's another comment like that too. That people think I'm making a post like this. And you know, the truth is I understand where you all are coming from when people make those types of comments of like, you're an adult making this content. I can't believe that. It's when you don't do the inner work of healing, and I'm not saying this from a place of judgment, because I understand where this person is coming from, because I used to think the same way. When you don't do the inner work of healing, like emotional wounds and reframing your psyche, working your mind a little bit more and organizing it, it's really easy to see the content I post about like wounded inner children, childhood trauma, easily triggered, empathetic men. It's really easy to see that kind of content as like I'm blaming other people. I'm blaming my parents for my problems. I'm blaming society for the way I am. And it's not about me blaming. This is not about me blaming. The truth is, this is about recognizing what is actually happening in the world, right? We are living in a time that is like no other. Okay, so I'm 31. My parents are in their mid to late 50s. They grew up in a time without social media, without the information we have today. And the information we have today has shined such a big light on the truth, and that is that emotional trauma and pain is a very real thing. Childhood trauma is a very real thing, and we all experience it to some degree or another. It's just a matter of how much of it, the severity of it, and how it impacts us. Older generations learn to just suppress it. And listen, if y'all want to do that, do it. I understand. There are times where I'm working through like really deep shit, and I'm just like, you know what? I understand why people continuously suppress their emotions. I really do. Like that part of me my mind can wrap its head around that. I can contextualize that. I'm like, no, I get it, because this fucking sucks right now. And I want to get on the other side of that and feel the expansion that comes with it. So anyway, that aside though, I understand where people are coming from, but like, and I do find these comments entertaining, but it's not about blame. For anybody who may be watching this and thinking that it is, because that's the vibe I get when people read these comments. It's like, you're blaming your parents for your problems. Like, no, I'm shining a light on the way my parents treated me growing up impacted how the man I became and the problems I faced. It was then my responsibility to fucking own it and do what I have to do from there. Heal it. And become the person that I wish to become. So that's what I got to say about that. Okay. Now, this one was pretty cool. I made a post about empathetic men healing their inner critic, right? If you deal with like self-criticism, self-doubt, things of that nature. And someone commented, never read so much BS that contains so few info. Thankfully, you made that clear by quoting Jung, Carl Jung. He was a psychologist back in, or psychoanalyst back in like I think he was alive from, I'm not even gonna say because I'm drawing a blank on it right now, but I found this interesting because the interesting thing about that to me is that, you know, psychology really is in a lot of ways any one person's mental framework on how they perceive the world. And that's why there's so many different psychological schools of thought out there. And when we talk about our inner worlds, it really is about what resonates with us, what feels like it aligns with us, and what we can, and how we can use that to communicate ourselves, both to ourselves and to the world, right? And so I found it interesting this person thought the post was BS, but that just at least shows me that there's a misalignment between what I teach and my own psychological framework on the world and this person's. But anyway, interesting all the same. Okay, so this one's good. These ones, because there's a couple of them. No, never mind. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh no, here we are. Here are the good ones. I gotta read these ones first. Okay, so I made a post called "Empathetic Men Struggling with Self-Criticism," and someone said it's a gift and should be celebrated. So this one's actually a little bit more positive, and I totally agree that self-criticism is a gift, and when you struggle with it, it's hard to see that perspective. See, this is where like the comments about just like saying fuck it, and this idea here that it's a gift and should be celebrated, these comments can become a challenge. If you're in the thick of struggling with self-criticism, self-doubt, you're struggling with emotional wounds, childhood traumas that you haven't healed yet, seeing them as a gift is really fucking hard when you are in the thick of it. And when we see these types of comments, when we hear these people out there, like the authority figures, the people who speak about these things, you'll hear me say it, that they're a gift and should be celebrated, that kind of stuff. You'll hear me say it. But when you're in the thick of it, it's really fucking hard to see that perspective, because you are experiencing the full depth of the challenges that are enveloping you. You are experiencing the depth of the emotional pain and trauma you experienced as it's coming to the surface. So it's hard to see that. And when we see these types of comments, when we see the authority figures saying that to us all the time, it's easy for our minds to grab a hold of those concepts and force it down our throat and suppress it. Hold on, I'm gonna come back to this in a minute. Oh wait, actually, my music changed. Oh, it just did something differently. So, okay, so I didn't want to get copyrighted as I was recording this. So let's come back to you. Nope. Okay, so I just wanted to add that to this a little bit, because I totally agree that self-criticism through a certain perspective is a gift. And if you're struggling with that right now, don't force yourself to see that perspective. When you heal the criticism, seeing that perspective becomes easier. That's what I wanted to add there. Okay. Talked about that. We did that. Yep, I'm the one who got Trump elected. Nope. Hold, please. We're going to get there. Okay. So there's some specific ones in here. Someone commented on one of my posts about men struggling with anxiety. Your Libya is showing. I just thought that was funny because I had to Google what a Libya was when I first read that. Okay. Okay, this one's good because I made a post talking about an abandonment wound, signs that men can recognize their abandonment wounds. And these two comments are good because I really want to talk about this. Well, the first one was, hey buddy, this is unfair to share right now. And the second one is, hey, look, one more personal call out before the app goes away. This is right before TikTok was about to get banned. And I want to talk about this for a minute because this person viewed it as I was calling them out. And I want to say this. For those of you who see my content and you feel called out and you internalize that negatively, that is just a reflection on how you handle constructive criticism. Because we all have faults. We all have struggles. The content I make is just as much for you all as it is for me. It's just as much for me as it is for you all, actually. It's more for me than it's for you all. This content helps me stay in alignment with myself. This content helps me learn more about myself. And so, if you feel called out, notice your part in that. You feel called out. Why do you feel called out? Why does it feel negative and harsh? What are you struggling with about being called out? And what's unfair about me showing this? I mean, I didn't make the algorithms post it to your page. The algorithms are just showing you what you want to see more of, or their interpretation of what you want to see more of. If you don't want to see this content, start swiping off it faster. All right, moving on. So this has another one. Ties back to what I just said. Like, why you got to attack my life. This post was about, it was the same post, but this one was on TikTok. The same post about the empathetic men with trauma responses. 6 patterns of empathetic men with trauma responses. Why you got to attack my life. Now, this person seemed to have, they put like a laughing emoji, so they were having a bit of fun with it. But like, again, if you're feeling attacked, you have to look inward at that. I'm not attacking you all. So my intention behind the content is to help you see that about yourself and to cultivate, for you men to cultivate more self-awareness about yourself. If I wanted to attack you, I would be a dick. I'd be mean about it. I would be really hurtful. I've had that inner critic running the show for a while, and I would notice these things about myself, and I was filled with like self-hate and self-condemnation. So I would condemn myself. And so I can say the same things in a very mean and hurtful and attacking way, but I choose not to because I just want to help you understand this about yourself in whatever way it manifests for you, not attack you. Now, that doesn't invalidate if you feel attacked by me. Do you understand that? So if you feel attacked by my content, you have to look inward at the fact that you feel attacked by what I'm saying. Okay. And again, and someone left this comment, and it's exactly what I was saying earlier about recognizing self-criticism as a gift. This person put, when we're deep in the thick of that struggle, we don't even know it. The men that need this message the most won't understand it. I'm on the path, and I hope others find it too. He's right. When we're deep in the thick of that struggle, we won't even notice it. This is exactly what I was saying earlier. I'm with this guy. And this is where I disagree with the guy, because he says the men that need this message the most won't understand it. And they don't need to. Listen, if any of my content resonates with you, but you don't understand it yet, the mind usually has to catch up to what the heart knows. The mind usually has to catch up to what the heart knows, right? So if you don't understand it yet, that doesn't matter. If you need to understand it first, and then you are mentally identified, you are attached to your mental identifications. And that's part of the work. So I would disagree with the guy and say that he's actually the person, and people like him, including myself, the people that are on this path, need these types of reminders. Just, again, I make my content just to help you all as I do myself. And vice versa, I make the content for myself just as much as I do to help you all. The content finds who the content finds when the content needs to find them. Saying that it needs to find a specific type of person is trying to egoically control the outcome. And once we get out of mental identification and identification with the ego, that stuff's irrelevant. What else we got here? This one, again, is a little bit more serious, but I wanted to shine a light on it because, like, I want also with this, if you're still here watching this, like, for men on this pathway, on this journey with us, it's like, you know, like, it's easy to feel alone, and you're not, right? Like, I am a rather self-isolated guy, and I struggle with loneliness sometimes, but, like, seeing men comment things like that, it helps us, and forging brotherhoods with men that are on the same path as us is an important part of this journey, right? So it's like this person said, yeah, it's been a minute since I let myself feel that stuff. This post was about embodying and understanding the unquestionable truth that our intellects and the egoic structures of the mind will always limit our ability to truly heal. And This person said, yeah, been a minute since I let myself feel that stuff. Just been analyzing life from every angle, simulating things in my mind. And again, that's just egoic structures, analyzing, right? The intellect, the mind and all of its egoic structures, all of the patterns of the mind are the egoic structures. I'm not saying the ego is bad by any stretch. I do not believe that at all. I believe the ego is friend, not foe. And the ego needs to be healed and integrated into our soul, and then life becomes significantly more fluid, I'll say. But analyzing life from every angle and simulating outcomes is the ego and it controlling us. So getting out of that is working with the ego. All right. Again, another comment where someone felt called out by me. And all that I said in response to him was like, all love, brother, because like I am not trying to call people out in an attacking fashion by any means. I got mad love for y'all who are still here watching this video, who support my content. And not because you support the content, not because we resonate, but because you're doing the work. And I respect and honor that. I mean, I love you because you're a human being and you're alive. Simple as that. And then it goes to another layer because we resonate. We're on the same pathway. We're forging the same pathway for ourselves. We're doing the deep inner work. And I respect and honor that about you. I'm not trying to call people out in a negative fashion. When people feel called out, when they feel attacked, that's negative. Usually it has a negative connotation around it. But like if I'm helping shine a light on this for you, that's a different story. If I'm helping you gain more self-awareness, that's a different story. You can feel called out and still gain more self-awareness. But if you feel attacked, that's something you have to look inward at. Is that it? Okay, this one's good. More importantly, why do you target? Why do you target? And so why do I target empathetic men? Is because I wanted to become the man that I wish I had. Now, I grew up with my father. There were men in my life who were always around. I had good friends, good role models in certain areas of my life, but I never had the type of man that I idolized. And the type of man I idolized was the best version of myself. And so I want to share as I continue to embody that version of myself, as I continue to step into my own power fully, unconditionally. I want to share that with you all so that you can see me do it and then do it yourselves. I want to share the man I wish I had with you all. So why do I target? It's not because, again, if target implies that I'm attacking something, right? And so if you feel like I'm attacking you, if you feel like you're a target of my mission, then you are feeling something negative. You're feeling an attack towards me. It's not about that. I'm not trying to attack you. I want to help you. I want to help you. If you're an empathetic, sensitive man, I want to help you heal. And you don't have to work with me one-on-one for that. Mentorship can be a one-on-one experience if you're ready to take that level of commitment. But mentorship can also just be following my content, listening to my advice. Right? So, okay, I think that's it. I feel like there was one more. Okay, the last one. This is the last one here because this was a very specific question someone left me. Can you do a TikTok for neurodivergent men? Thanks. Now, I had to Google what neurodivergent meant, and I love that science and Western medicine and things of that sort, psychology, therapy, is expanding our understanding of the human psyche, of the human brain, and all these things. But to me, personally, neurodivergency seems like a natural thing. I believe we are all neurologically different. And so in order for me to make a post specifically for neurodivergent men would be challenging because I would need to understand your specific individuality to be able to make a post tailored to you specifically. Now, I could use my own neurodivergency and talk to that, but many of you aren't going to be like me. Even empathetic men is a very narrow, it is a very specific type of man within the broader spectrum of men. But even that is very broad in the different types of empathetic men that can be out there. Like, I'm a type of empathetic man where I feel everything. I am very energetically sensitive. I am very emotionally sensitive to other people and their energy and their emotions. I pick up on it very easily. And I am a man who isn't very outwardly expressive with his emotions anymore. The way I saw my highest, best version of myself was more stoic. It doesn't mean I am suppressed my emotions. That means doesn't mean I'm emotionless. I feel all of my emotions. I don't push any of them aside. I want to experience them all. I let myself cry. I let myself feel all the things. But I'm more stoic. I'm more sturdy in my emotional responses to people. Right? But that might not speak to many of you. And so for me to make a post specifically discussing neurodivergent men, it would have to be narrowed on a specific type of neurodivergent man. Like, what is your neurodivergency? What makes you neurologically different than me? And what would you like me to speak about that? Right? Like, I am a very ambitious man. I want the accolades of success. I am growing a business because I like business. And I want to do it from a different space than what we have known business to be. I don't believe capitalism is a bad thing. I believe it can be a very good thing if we utilize it through the lens of compassion and heart-centered leadership, where we're driven by compassion rather than driven by just an income. And so if I was speaking to that neurodivergency, then I probably wouldn't be speaking to many of you. So for me to make a post about neurodivergent men, it would be really challenging because it would need to be specific about your own specific neurodivergency. And even at that point, I would be speaking out of my ass because in order for me to understand your neurodivergency, I would need to understand your neurological way of thinking. And I would need to experience that. And until the day they find a way to make that possible, which I really hope they do, because, to be honest with y'all, I want to experience what it's like to be a woman, just to know what it's like. But that aside for a moment, like, I am unable to experience your neurological hardware in order to know how to make a post for you. So, with that all out of the way, that was the last one that I wanted to hit on, and I wanted to thank you guys for sticking with me on this one. It was just fun to do. I want to do more of these. I'll just let the comments and the haters and the trolls build up because some of them are really funny, and make more of them moving forward. So thank y'all for tuning into today's video. Let me just make sure. I never shared this one. This is All-Consuming Oblivion, but that was the person's name, so I don't think that they were talking about my content, although they might have been. So that's going to take it for today's video. If you guys like this video, if you want to see more of it, leave a comment, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're interested in working with me, my mentorship one-on-one, there will be a link down below, and you can read more about that and whatnot. So thank you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.